right, man. It's 4:10. It's time to do it again. It's Fans of Patrol time, man. We are back in the house, man. It's Christmas time in Cleveland. Don't say that, Montego. What's wrong with me? I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my wonderful co-host, full of Christmas cheer, Miss Tifflebot. What's happening, my lovely?
Not much over here. It's just, yeah. I'm not in the Christmas mood, to be quite frank, actually.
Mom, well, you on a Christmas roll? Shit. You know?
I'm a fucking Scrooge. How are you?
Of course. Or the Grinch. I remember I used to play the Grinch music with you back in the day.
Oh, my God. Jesus, yeah.
Oh, shit. So anyway, man, welcome back, y'all. We know the last show came out a little late, but we got it out. It was a struggle, too. I had to edit it and put it all out on a Monday. But thank you guys for listening. This week, man, it's Christmas time. So as you can see, for those of you joining us on YouTube, we're doing Violent Night with one of Tiff's favorite big boys, David Harbour.
I do love David Harbour.
I know you do.
Excuse me.
Also, man, we almost want to half-ass call this our video games edition. This shit happens from time to time where, we get a chance to discuss some video game news. And being at the fact that me and Tiff are not, back in the day, I would have been labeled as a hardcore gamer. Mm-hmm. But then, everything changed and, now.
Are you saying, here's the thing. I actually play, and I probably, you do too, of all the people on the planet, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
We are of the people, there's not as many people who play video games beyond, casually picking something up to play Mario. I don't really think that counts. Okay. I mean, it does. You wouldn't, but that person, like my mom, who sometimes plays Animal Crossing, probably wouldn't call herself a gamer.
No.
And nobody would really consider her a gamer because that's just the couple things that she does. And that wouldn't, whatever. But now it kind of feels like if you're going to be called a gamer, you have to be that's all you do.
Right. And that's true. Because
you know what I mean? And I'm that's not all I do.
Fuckers started streaming 24/7 and stuff.
I know.
They just live on the game and then they get to talk shit. And, and
you're just little.
you goddamn people. I mean, they're so. My nephew. He's a streamer gamer and stuff like that. And it's just it's so annoying to me because it's just play the game. Once it turns into a business, I don't know. It's just a whole different thing.
I do also think the word can't really say, but you know what I mean. Anyway. I play a lot more video games than the average person, but a lot less than probably somebody who would call you a gamer. But these video game news is from the Video Game Awards were this week.
Okay,
last week.
Okay.
So there was a lot of, we could have talked about ones that won awards and stuff like that, but because you and I probably haven't played a lot of those, I was to talk about ones that maybe everyone's familiar with for coming up stuff.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So we got video game news, you guys. Also, man, it's Christmas heavy. So last week we were supposed to do the Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're going to do it this week. So
I forgot
to talk about this. I'm excited to talk about it. So then again, like I said, at the top of that key, David Harbour, Violent Night. We're going to check that out. And this is Tiff's second time talking about this. So
two.
Yeah, she went to our family member So Wizard podcast, and she did a show with Joey and Mark, and I made it my business not to listen to their show this week. I did not want to get a preview. Yeah.
I will say that the way that we discuss films is different.
Totally.
So
yeah.
I feel like come here for some more of a different same thing.
Yeah. I agree. You still have your opinions, but yeah, we go left, they go right. Totally with the discussion. Even the last time I was on the show, I was like, oh man. So. Anyway, man, saying all that, are you ready to go to Christmas Town?
Yeah.
Jingle all the way. Let's go. All right, man, we are back. It's time to roll. Social media time, Tiff. What do we got?
So for everything Fans on Patrol,
it's almost up, y'all. I'm telling you, I've been building.
Here's the thing, you guys. You've heard it before, but Montego, I'm busy, but Montego's busy.
Yeah.
And he does everything and then goes to bed. Anyway, find us at Fans of Patrol on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yes.
You can get to us on our TikTok, which is Fans of Patrol 0.
Yes.
Check out our YouTube. Please subscribe to our Patreon if you'd be so kind. And then, of course, you can listen to us on your favorite listening platform like you're doing right now.
Indeed. So, it's video game news time, but Tiff, I just tell you about a strange occurrence that happened this week.
Okay.
So like I had my office Christmas party. Like it's that time of year, right? We everybody, whether if you are a Christmas fan or not, you go to the office Christmas
You
parties.
put on your ugly sweater and
Well, some people had that. Like I'm like, people were really dressed up for this party and stuff, and it ended up being a really cool party. At the place I work. I mean, bunches of fun. It was pretty close to office Christmas party, but not that bad. But oh man, I got home so late, right? Tiff, the next day I remember rummaging through my front bushes, trying to like adjust the Christmas lights, and I thought to myself, I said, "What the hell was I doing at 2 o'clock in the morning in my bushes, fooling with the Christmas lights?"
This is exactly actually a very Montego story. I could see your ass coming home, being like a little drunk and being like, "What the fuck is this shit? It's all crooked." Mr. Button all the way up the top. He's sauced. He's come from a party. He's a glamorous man. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Tiff, that's exactly what happened. I'm like, what the hell? Like, hold up. Get this shit together. I was like, let me get this together. That's exactly what happened.
Fix it. You're like, this is unbelievable to me. And I'm like, this is exactly believable to me.
So yeah, but here's the funny thing. I didn't even remember it to the next day. I was pulling them. I was like driving. I was like, wait a minute, was I in the goddamn bushes messing with them lights? Yes, I was. I was in the bushes.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you have like one of those. Have you ever had you're driving a couple days after something happens and you realize something was a dream? It wasn't like I have really stupid dreams. In a dream, I will dream that I have done some laundry or something like that, like something that stupid. And then I'll be like, I'll be driving, I didn't fucking do that. Yeah, I'll remember that did not happen. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I had forgot all about the bushes. And then, in America, a black man in front of a house in the bushes, cause not in front of the bushes, I'm in the bushes between the window, and I'm in the bushes like a cat burglar or something like that. I'm like, oh, God. Anyway. The goofy escapades of alcohol, y'all. You gotta love it.
Yes.
These are your notes, man. What are we doing this week?
Okay, so like we said at the introduction, the Video Game Awards were this past week, and a lot of big announcements were made. I've chosen, there was Death Stranding 2 is coming.
That Norman Reedus game.
Yes, so there's going to be a second one, which I thought was pretty surprising because I didn't really realize that game
came out.
No. I know the game came out. I just didn't think that it had a critical response. I think critically it was I didn't think there was enough of a following for it to get a second one. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it looked like hot shit to me, so I never even paid attention. That's just.
I would assume that it's probably not something that you would enjoy. But that's why I was kind of like
goo and all that shit.
In the goo.
I remember them videos. Norman Reedus hold the baby. I was like, oh God, what the hell is this? No, it was not my shit, y'all. Go ahead, Joe.
And then there's a lot of other stuff that got awards and announcements and stuff. It's a big deal. So the ones that I chose to talk about, the first one is a trailer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this website sucks so much ass. I'm trying to open the link and it's like, no. For Final Fantasy 16. 16.
And that doesn't mean 16 years because they don't come out every year.
No. And also I think that some of them are do you know what I mean? Obviously some of them are online games. They're like an MMO.
Yes.
I don't know if this one is or not. I don't know enough about. This is the first. This is the release trailer or not release trailer. This is the announcement trailer. It's the first trailer.
Yeah.
And so I don't know much about it besides the trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big enough Final Fantasy fan to seek out news about it. So I have no idea how any of that.
I was just gonna say, I figured you picked a game for you and a game for me because I've never played Final Fantasy a day in my life. It always looks cool. But now that it's at 16, it's just nah. This must be Tiff stuff. Because I know you do games that that I would never play, and I think vice versa.
I know that you do games that stink, and this is one of the ones that stinks. No. Actually, I have not really played that many Final Fantasy games.
Really?
I think the only one I've ever actually beaten is 7.
I talked to a guy that said he almost got a divorce because of the last game. Just
Was it one of the online ones? I think some people are.
He just like couldn't put it down, and his wife was like, "What the hell? You don't want the booty? You know, because you're playing a game." It was like that, you know. He was like, "Just one more money. I gotta save. I gotta just wait till I get to the save, you know." So yeah, he
sometimes you gotta save until you save.
Yeah, man. Could you imagine an hour or so and the save is just not there? You're just like, whoo, yeah.
Well, a lot of my other kind of favorite games are very like have a similar kind of like
yeah
kind of like like long like a lot of games I play are more like 70 80 90 hour games where like to complete the story version, that's how many hours you're probably going to end up putting into the game, and that is certainly not for everybody. Do you know what I mean? That would drive some people insane, and a lot of the Final Fantasy games are like that. You're going to get into like 70 80 90 hours of a playthrough. And so I think people get really obviously devoted. There's a lot of things you have to do. You got to grind and get your people up to par and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying about this is I don't know enough about Final Fantasy. Like, even after playing 7, I don't know how it fits into, like, all the other Final Fantasies or if they're all, like, different.
Do they ever? I always assume that nothing has to do with the other one. It's always
they're all different, but I don't know if, like, there's overarching themes of, like... Yeah. They're all within the same universe. I don't know how they connect. I apologize to everyone listening who might know that and maybe think that everybody knows that. But like there are some where there's like there's one Final Fantasy game that's like a spin-off that has a character from an old like so there's a Final Fantasy character from Final Fantasy 7 that has his own game.
Yeah.
But I don't think it counts in like the canon. And other than that, there's one that's Final Fantasy 10 and 10. Is it 10-2?
Shit, I'm getting confused just hearing.
So it's 10 and 10-2.
I remember going to the movie, the Final Fantasy movie that had Alec Baldwin as one of the stars, and it was all about space and guys.
Oh yeah, and that was a bad movie, right?
Terrible goddamn experience.
Yeah.
And so but then you see like these guys with these swords and stuff. So you're
like, I want to like it.
You know, like swords and spaceships and what the hell, you know?
Yeah, so that's why I don't understand. Like when you see this one that kind of has like a
medieval,
and they do medieval kind of vibe, and so you're like. Are they in space? But sometimes you guys, that's why it's very confusing to me. Okay. That's what I wanted to say. This looks great. Like, you know what I mean? I can awesome. Tell that, like, if you're into it.
Even the switch between the cutscenes and the actual gameplay, the shit looks good. I'm like, the gameplay looks almost as good as the cutscenes, man. So I was like, wow, stuff is really, you know.
we are in a certain age, you know what I mean?
For sure.
All these things are shiny. But like I think I don't really know that much about Final Fantasy besides what I've experienced.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you like it, if you've liked all of them or almost all of them, there's a good chance to probably like this one. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's fan heavy game, game base and a lot
a
lot of
dedicated. Or like even if you like the kind of fans where like even if you think you might hate it or you start hating it while you're doing it, you keep doing it because you like the thing so much for some reason.
They have like symphony concerts that play the
music. But that's cool because the music is very good.
And they like pack the house with these damn things. You know, when they had these symphonies. I'm like, God damn. So let's talk about something a little bit on my speed tip about.
Yes, we put this in here for you.
Yeah. So I mean, go ahead. Your notes, man. You know.
Well, I mean, so they have announced that this game looks really good. They went out and announced, even though I feel like it would kind of be known that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will include the voice of Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Yeah, so I think they introduced this game, a trailer for the game either a year or two ago, to the point that I've forgotten about it. You know, I mean, you know how this shit goes, where you're like, oh damn, I forgot all about this bullshit, right? I think it might have been 2 years ago when they had the first trailer. You know, it was just like, oh, okay. I mean, Suicide Squad, I think, you know, was. You know, it was one of the movies was out, and I think it was like the next movie that was the second movie that was coming, you know, soon. And they showed the very first trailer for this. But you know, Kevin Conroy was active. You know, he did a podcast like I think a day or two before he had passed. You know, so he was still doing his thing, and so I'm not surprised that here we are with something on, you know, with him with a Batman property. And I wouldn't even be surprised if it's more. But you're right. This is all a cutscene. So you just never know what this shit gonna look like because these mainstream games are the biggest ones that will dupe you and have the cutscenes looking
looking really good, and then
yeah. So you just never know what you're gonna get,
But these ones have been good, right? Because they're made by the same people who do the was it the Arkham games? Did they do that?
Is this the Arkham people? If this is the Arkham,
I don't know. I'm just taking a stab in the dark at that. I thought maybe.
I'm not sure. I thought it was the same people who did the Injustice games because that's what it looks like. But the Arkham games have been great. And that Robin game where Batman is supposed to be dead, that came out and I haven't played it yet because I've actually been kind of cheap and was like, I want to get a sale, because I'm always like buying the games and shit. Down the road, it's like $20, and you're like, nah!
Yeah. So if you're not gonna play it that day, I think you should just wait. You know what I mean?
Oh, not only that, this shit comes on Game Pass on for free. On Xbox, and because like right now I've been playing Assassin's Creed the Odyssey, and it's free, and it's like I think I might have logged like 80 hours so far. I've been waiting for the next one to come out, but it didn't. But they had it on sale for $20 on Black Friday. So I bought it. I'm just getting cheap with my video games because they could be disappointing.
But you also I do believe that if you're kind of like more into certain kinds of games, you might end up buying a lot more shitty. Well, obviously, everybody whatever fan you are, you buy a shitty game sometimes.
Yes, you do.
You're just like the fuck.
It's like back in the day before iTunes. When you would buy you hear a cool song,
a CD, fuck,
a whole album, and it's like
it's bad.
This shit, right?
I have album, but also you kept it, right? I had CDs that I had like the two songs on it that you just like. What it's number 3 and it skip, and like number 7 and
the rest of it is hot garbage, and you're just like, God damn, they got me, So I'll wait for Game Pass, but for that other Batman game. But if this is that company,
I think I think you're right. It does look like those Injustice people. The thing about that is those games. I don't really know anything about these games really because I don't play them, but
it's a bunch of fun.
Sure, I've seen them be played and they look great. I just think that those Batman games are particularly so good in my mind. What I've seen of them,
really good. Yeah.
That I just assumed that they let those people make all of the Batman games now. That's what I thought.
Well, they did a couple, and then they were supposed to do no more. And then,
I'm sorry.
You just, those games they're phenomenal. That's shit. They ought to just keep pumping them out because they're never.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't you just be like, if you saw God and he was doing his job well, you wouldn't say, well, let me try.
Right.
You'd say, you just go keep going, high five.
Yeah. But it does look like the same stuff. So I can't say I don't get excited for video games no more because E3 killed that shit. You just waiting like 6 years for a game, and
Well, but now E3's gone. But also, that's just even if E3 was gone, that's the way video game development works.
Exactly.
You hear an announcement, and then it's going to be sometimes, like we said, sometimes 6 to 10 years, sometimes 3 years, sometimes never, sometimes never. Bye bye.
Right. Bye-bye. That shit has happened too. So I can't get excited for this bullshit.
Your dreams are dead.
I know. So this looks cool. This is right up my alley. I would love to see the finished product maybe one day before I pass. So get to it, fellas.
It said May 23rd, 2023.
That means nothing in video game land. That means
I don't know. I think usually at that point it's kind of like I think something. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, maybe.
And then here's even the worst.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these companies, well, not a lot, but then you get like these Cyberpunks and these Anthem places that releases games that's not even finished.
Yep, and then they're like, okay, nope, we're not going to go there. I could talk a lot about that. Yeah. One being that is bullshit. Two being that sometimes I think people say that even when it was finished, when it wasn't as good as they thought it was going to be,
right.
And then they're like, well, it was unfinished, and you're like,
for the patch.
why did you give it to me?
Right.
I'm not going to I'm not going to eat an underbaked cake just because a world famous baker made it. I mean, you can wait. Give me 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 more minutes.
Yeah. So that's happened. And so honestly, after Anthem was a game changer for me for video games because that game literally sucked ass. It was literally just like a demo.
Oh my god! I'm so glad I didn't take a drink.
It was a demo that they just released as a full game, and I've never got cheated so bad when to the point I'm just saying to the point that I'm like, F a video game. I'll wait to the season. And then,
Stop.
What? Xbox came out with Game Pass, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
there you go. That's my video gaming because you bastards have robbed money from me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I also hate like just not being able to get. I like to have a physical copy. I know that's not you, but I do because I need a long time, and sometimes that shit comes off.
No, it don't. Oh, you mean off Game Pass? It will come off Game Pass, but
Montego, haven't you heard that some games do like you can't access them anymore?
Whoa, I paid for that. What's going on? Hey,
yeah, look into it because because companies stop like supporting that. So either they stop being able to be played or the functionality of that specific game doesn't work. I think probably none of the games maybe that you're playing. Yeah, but that's a concern.
No, if I bought that, then you guys are stuck with me until the sun turns red and explodes.
Right, but then the company might go under, right? That made that game or something like that. So like there's like weird stop, you know what I mean? Like
shit.
So unless someone else takes the responsibility for it.
Shit.
But I would assume that a lot of the but I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm deeply concerned.
Don't be too concerned because I probably feel like a lot of the AAA games that you're playing probably don't have that
fortune on these goddamn games already, Tifflebot. You know,
you guys, I don't know enough about it, but I know it's happening. So just like look into it, make sure you're safe.
You I'll burn the world down with the shit.
Thank God, you're already like fuck a video game, and then you're like my video games, my precious video games.
I pay for my precious dough. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Shit. I don't give a damn if it's bad. It's mine. It's mine. You know. Oh my God.
Oh my God, this is just like so you.
Oh my God. So that's it for the news, man. We're gonna take a break.
The news.
Calm the hell down.
Just like 5 minutes of complaining, 5 to 10 minutes of complaints.
Oh shit. So we're gonna take a break and we're gonna be right back. All right, man, we are back. It's time for our one shot, man, and it's an interesting one shot because the one shot is only a one shot deal. So we'll, get into that. So this week we're sticking to the Christmas theme, and we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It's a TV special on Disney Plus, 2022 TV 14, 41 minutes. And
41 minutes.
It's something that, they just decided to do. It became part of the Marvel slate, and it was like always weird to me. But let's see, it's directed by James Gunn, and who is in this TV show, Tiff?
It's crazy to me that Disney has the kind of money to bring these people in for what must have been 5 seconds of work for all of them because it's very short. Chris Pratt.
Yep.
Obviously, not less than other people, but him. Karen Gillan, obviously, she's in there. But I think that was the most surprising to me because she's in it so little. Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he does the voice. I think he might even be doing he's actually, because that group now. But go ahead.
He's not in there. Jesus fuck.
Never know.
Bradley Cooper.
Yep.
Sean Gunn.
Yep.
Michael Rooker.
Yep.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes. Big time.
The Baconator.
Yes.
All right.
You can't forget about Pom Kalamavis. Is that her name? Who plays Mantis?
Oh, she's not on this list. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I got her on my list.
She should be on the top.
And Dave Bautista, can't forget him. Them got the actual 2 stars.
Oh yeah, Dave Bautista. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Pom Klementif. Sorry, this list is weird. On IMDb and whatever they put you kind of like in order of appearance. Yes. And because you're right, Mantis and Drax are the main characters of this episode.
Yes.
Of this thing.
Indeed.
So
Tiff, before we go any further, it is time for one word, Tiff. Go ahead and destroy
it. Horrible. I was gonna say garbage. Garbage. It's garbage.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
Horrible garbage.
horrible, garbage.
Loved it.
I know you did.
Loved it.
So
sheer enjoyment.
You can't say loved it. Enjoyment. Okay.
Enjoyment.
Yes,
that's the one word. No.
All right, one word is enjoyment.
No.
Yeah, no, it's one word. I was making fun of the loved it.
Yes, loved it was 2 words. So yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of this, man. I found it so delightful, and it exceeded my expectations. But funny enough, some of the things that we were talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy last week about some people mailing it in and some people not. And this man, Drax and Mantis was killing it, dude. I mean,
but Mantis is she never phones it in.
Look,
I would say she's the best and most charming in all of the movies.
She was I would disagree with that.
Nope.
I would disagree with that. So anyway, man, let's hit the spoilers and let's get into this thing.
Let's get into it.
So apparently, the Guardians have bought Nowhere. You know, the head of the old Celestial, and they're it's the cleanup from what's his name, Thanos is still going on. So they own it and they have a community there which they're in charge of. So. What's her name? Zoe Saldana playing, her character, Gamora. And so Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, is still
Star-Lord. Like what is this? Quote unquote Star-Lord.
I'll explain.
Quote unquote.
I'll explain because I still can't tell if he's still playing the sad role or if he's just phoning it in. It is very difficult for me to know.
I think he's supposed to be sad because. This is the whole kind of an episode about being sad, about Christmas and being sad.
But he was sad in Thor, and he was sad, and he's just been. I can't tell if he's mailing it in or not, Tiff. I don't know.
I felt like this he wasn't, and I also feel like this might have been filmed quite a time ago.
You think so?
Yep.
It's hard for me to tell. I'm glad although this was about him, I'm glad that I didn't have to watch too much of him. Because I just was like, damn, is this dude, does he care? Or is this him acting like this, So it's Christmas time and they got these folks and then they do this Christmas song, by all means, Tiff, please interrupt about the Christmas song.
The music in this movie makes me want to die. And I don't think that that's an appropriate feeling for a Christmas movie. I was just like, I was embarrassed to be alive during some of these songs.
I enjoyed that song. I've listened to the lyrics, and the lyrics were ridiculous, man. And I was like, what are they saying? I thought
it's so embarrassing. But I will say, even more embarrassing than all of that. So we go through this part, and we can come back to it. This is just about music, particularly in this movie. They go to Hollywood, and they're on the boulevard.
Yeah.
And there's a song playing in the background.
Okay, I don't remember it.
That's fine. That song is by my favorite, used to be my favorite band. I don't even know if they're my favorite band anymore because every time like shit like this that happens is embarrassing to me. I was just like, they played a song by them and I was like, I was thinking this is the worst thing I've ever seen already. And then that happened and I felt dead inside because something that I loved was associated with something that I thought was such garbage.
All right. Goddamn. So
sorry.
Back to the timeline here. So they decide they do this cartoon, which I thought was really nice.
I actually didn't mind that.
Yeah, I liked the
that was a nice way to do a flashback, and it made sense in this
and,
kind of environment.
Yes, and it had that Christmas old thing to it.
Yeah, that's like what you do in like the old kind of Christmas movies.
Right. So they go on this adventure to go find Kevin Bacon because they believe him to be a real person that inspired.
He's a hero.
Yes. And so, to me, the thing really comes alive once they get on Earth. And
I like a lot of these scenes.
Oh, my God. The Hollywood Boulevard scene I thought was so great. And then they go to the bar and they get destroyed, and then all that fast-paced, man. I enjoyed this shit so much. Those two were a perfect comedy team. I just was cracking up the whole time. My family was cracking up. It wasn't just like I was in a good mood. Everybody was just like, loving it.
So I knew as soon as they said they were going to find Kevin Bacon that the real Kevin Bacon would be in this film.
Well, that was spoiled for me that he was in it. Like,
well, I guess they could have done. What it could have ended up happening was they never found Kevin Bacon. I suppose that could have been something. But I kind of figured this is Disney. They've got more money than God. I believe Kevin Bacon will be here eventually. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, we're going to find Kevin Bacon. Anyway, that didn't matter. That the fact that that was even going to happen is what bothers me. I don't
Really?
like this particular. Well, I don't want the Guardians of the Galaxy to be in a
Real?
reality. Yeah, like I don't want them to try. I mean, I know that's not what they're doing, and this is supposed to be kind of a funny offshoot, nothing thing, but that's not exactly true because some things that affect the plot of Guardians of the Galaxy were revealed in this. Do you know what I mean? Like 2 characters and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
However, Kevin Bacon was mentioned in the movie from the beginning, and so
I don't care.
about the dance off and Footloose, I just thought that shit was funny.
Yes.
And
Yes, I know, but like I know, I guess that's true, but also I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it because as soon as they introduce him as himself,
yeah, yeah.
it just makes it seem like a weird fourth wall breaking. It's almost like too much. It doesn't matter. I don't care for it, but I get it, right? Fine.
I thought
I
it was
don't like it because of that. But I will say
Uh-huh.
that part is I love it.
Okay, thank you.
But not all of it. Like there's what I say is like I really didn't like all of this movie, but during that part I did genuinely laugh. The little man thing, very funny. When she's got the candy cane and
Yes.
he's like, well, how come you get to keep yours? She's like, because I was responsible.
Right.
Very funny. All of these things very funny. Anyway,
But speaking
so
of that, like the fourth wall breaking, but keeping it together, it's a minor line that happens when they're in Hollywood Boulevard and they see all the cosplayers dressed up like Avengers, and she's
yeah.
like, Steve, and they like, and he
Mhm.
takes off running and stuff, and I'm like, that is cool because it's not saying, Captain America. They know this guy, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
But like that kind of stuff makes sense. Like if they were gonna go to the Earth and find like a hero, and I don't know, I guess they have real music from they are in the real world. I don't know, you guys. I'm getting upset.
So anyway, the chasing Kevin Bacon all through Hollywood and the police cars and shit. I just thought I loved it, man. I was like, this is cool, man, because yeah, it's a one thing, and it was so. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was really well done. I mean, I'm not even a comedy dude, but I'm sitting there cracking up like watching this stuff.
Maybe that's why I'm a comedy person.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not. I think also I just think that if it wasn't Christmas, maybe I would have liked it more. I think like the combination of like it being Christmas themed, so it kind of feels. Sometimes I feel like when that happens, to a franchise that exists, like that are like doesn't like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If they made another one of those, obviously it's going to be a Christmas movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it bothers me, sometimes it doesn't. But so there's that bothers me, and then the fact that Kevin Bacon, it all makes it seem very like commercial somehow to me, like it, which is whatever. But like I love stuff that's highly commercialized, but it's a problem when it kind of feels like it's worn out in some places, a little frayed, because like you can notice it and it feels weird. He's not trying to sell me anything necessarily, but it feels bright, too shiny, too much like look at this shiny boo boo boo. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but I will say I did genuinely laugh at a lot of what they were doing because I do think that those characters are really well done, and I think that you're right that they will be probably part of what saves this upcoming movie.
Yeah, and I noticed. I really like the Sean Gunn character. He was in it. And I really like. Rocket is my favorite, but he costs too much. So this is a holiday special. I was like,
so
I'm sure
that's why he's only in there very much.
I assume that he's only because I mean that's big time. Shit they gotta do to get that character to be what it is, and how much you're gonna spend on this. $42 million.
I mean, how much did they spend on it? Do you know?
I have no idea, but I just know that.
I'm gonna you tell me what you're thinking, and I'm looking it up.
Okay, I'm thinking that this thing probably cost about $24 million. I'm thinking, from what you had, and I think if you would have,
excuse me,
I think if you would have had more shots of a rocket, you probably have damn near $100 million, thingy. So
doesn't
anyway,
it usually tell you on the thing? Well, whatever.
Just look it up. I mean, it'll come up how much it, whatever. So. They get they kidnap Kevin Bacon. Peter's bad, and then they undo his trance, and he decides to go back and give him a holiday.
See, and then it's getting really very cheesy at this point. That bothers me.
But it's a Christmas special, so I was like, it has to go this direction.
It does, but that's the thing. That's kind of why it bothers me because it has to. But you know what I mean? Like I get it.
Yeah.
But because of all these whatever. But I did enjoy the part in the plane, and then they are mad that he's an actor.
It felt really warm to me at the end. I was like,
I will tell you. Hold on. I'm gonna admit something.
Okay.
I'm just because so we get to the planet, and yes. So now one thing I did want. Yeah. He gets a call from Kira, his wife, Kira Sedgwick.
Yes.
His wife, and she's like, "Where are you?" And then he's like, "I just need a little bit more time." Very classic Christmas stuff. But what I wanted to have her say, I just wanted to have her say like something at the end, like "What the fuck?" Do you know what I mean? Like, because it would have made sense in the end. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, that would have been very funny to me, but they didn't go there. He just like went back in, which is fine. Then they sang the worst song of all time.
Well, that's because he's a musician and got his own.
Yes. But the fact that that's happening, all of this is just stacking up for me, right? Yeah. And when you're watching it, the shit stacks up next to your like here's your good pennies, right? You're like, boop, boop, boop. And then sometimes your bad pennies get so big they knock all the good pennies down. Good. But anyway, okay. So now I'm gonna say, then they all kind of like have their Christmas. They have the exchange gifts, okay, and that I liked all of them. I thought all of the gift exchanges were very cute and very sweet, and they warmed my heart. But obviously, the one that warmed my heart in particular was when she gives him the little man. I honestly felt myself feeling a little emotional about it.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, because he was so excited.
And I like Groot's gifts and stuff. He just.
Made him, but the one that did make me was like him looking at the gift. That was great to me. I did think that was pretty good. Okay,
so I enjoyed the hell out of this thing, Tiff, and I mean, I'm not like a Christmas special like connoisseur. Like I love Christmas.
Sure, I thought this was
great. I thought it was great.
Something kind of like it had some like Star Wars. Like Christmas special, like there's nothing like that. But you can tell that this wouldn't have existed if that hadn't existed.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point, So I loved it.
In some ways, I can see why this would be very enjoyable for a lot of people. Yeah. As I said at the top, Drax kind of a Scrooge.
Drax and Manus is great.
Here's the thing though: if they had taken out the Christmas elements, which I get right, and they showed me an adventure where maybe they just want to surprise him because he's been sad. So they're going to get Kevin Bacon.
Oh, Christmas was great. It was a good thing.
I would have thought that's really funny maybe. But even then, it just was like too much, almost not Guardians of the Galaxy because it was too much in the real world, even though, technically it does take place in the real world.
I hear what you're saying.
And then the cheesy Christmas shit was just too much. This is for me particularly. Yeah. If you're out there in Radioland and you're thinking... maybe I'll hate it. You probably won't. Generally speaking, I'm a curmudgeonly piece of shit. So check it out if you got Disney Plus.
All right, and I'll say I loved it. I thought I literally laughed. So many laugh out loud moments. It was just great. I really want to watch it again. Honestly. So that's it, man. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back. It's time for our main topic. More Christmas, y'all. If you don't like Christmas, I don't know. If you don't like Christmas, this next section is for you. We'll be right back. All right, man. We are back. It's time to talk about 2022's Violent Night starring David Harbour, man. So, I saw the trailer for this movie a while ago and wasn't sure if we would ever do it, but we decided to do it.
Here's the thing. So as we said, I'm on Soul Wizard this week. I texted Montego, I think, immediately afterwards and was like, well, I already did this, so guess what we're doing for the show this week.
Oh, it's all good, though, because I don't mind this,
Yeah.
So it's rated as action, comedy, crime.
I thought you were going to say action, comedy, Christmas, I was like, I didn't know they had a Christmas category. Crime. No, I guess there is a crime.
It is it's a crime thriller.
Because I was going to say, there's no crime. And I was like, the whole thing is about a crime.
Yeah. So when a group of mercenaries attack an estate of a wealthy family, Santa Claus must step into and save the day and Christmas. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's what it's about, man. Who's in this damn thing, Tiff?
David Harbour.
Big boy Harbour.
Very good in this movie. At a certain point, he transitioned to being extremely sexy. John Leguizamo, who I love and
another
adore.
one of your favorites. This is just
I do. I really just adore him. Alex Hassel. That's Jason Lightstone.
Yeah, I had never seen him before.
I thought I had seen him, but I couldn't figure out where. I didn't look him up, but maybe I should while we're doing this.
I didn't see.
No, you didn't recognize?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Alexis Louder. That's Linda Matthews.
Yes.
Edie Patterson.
Yes.
Cam Gigandet. That's hard for me to say.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just, I don't know. Leah Brady, Beverly D'Angelo, Brendan Fletcher, Andre Erickson, I think that's about it.
That's about it.
Alexander Elliott. Yeah.
About it.
That's Bertrude.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So we knew this movie was going to be over the top. And
Yes.
over the top is what we got. But before we go any further, it is time for the most interesting part for me. I can't wait to hear one word.
Oh, okay. Actually, this movie's quite delightful. Delightful will be my word.
Delightful.
Delightful.
Amazing. You amaze me so much.
Why?
It's because like you go so hard on something like Guardians of the Galaxy, and then this is like, delightful.
Delightful. What a delight.
My one word is ridiculous, and it is very ridiculous, y'all. But no one will walk into a movie like this. If you walk into a movie like this and it being ridiculous is something that bothers you, you're a piece of shit. This movie is not made for you. You should just go watch something else. It's not.
Okay.
This movie is ridiculous. It's supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah, here's the thing I will say about this movie is that like when they aren't being ridiculous is when it does not shine. When they're trying to be earnest and like sweet is when it's less good to me. But I will say it's fine because it has to do that in order for the other stuff to kind of have a payoff. So that guy who we thought we didn't recognize, maybe we recognize him because he does play Translucent in The Boys. He was in like 3 episodes of The Boys. And that's early.
He was the guy that shot through the balls or something like that, up the booty. Yeah. And
that may be why we recognize him because I think they showed his face quite a bit.
They put and
his face. I was like, why do I recognize that guy's face? Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yes. That's about it, right?
No, he was Translucent was the guy they tortured in the
they put the grenade up the cheek.
Yes, and then he exploded. So that's maybe why our subconscious is like, why have I seen this man's strange face before? Yeah, he's got a strange face, but also kind of handsome. He's like a handsome weasel.
I don't know about being handsome, but he does look like a weasel.
Yeah. There's something about him where like you would just maybe find yourself being attracted to him on accident. Would be what would happen.
So, man, this thing starts out. We got a fella. We got Santa Claus, right? He's actually in a bar getting destroyed, and he's a piece of shit. I mean, he's like a degenerate, man. They're in the UK, and another Santa comes in, and this conversation happens, and he's just drunk, and he leaves. Lady runs up top, and Tiff, when the puke rained down.
Oh yeah, when that happened, I will say when this movie opened and that happened, I thought, oh no, I'm not gonna like this movie because it's gonna be like gross stuff. Yeah. Which I don't mind gross stuff, but puke,
I don't like gross stuff.
Puke is something that like I don't want to see a bunch of.
No, and they showed it pretty good.
They really went in for it. It looked like fucking Dinty Moore beef stew.
It sure did. Oh,
that's what I thought when I saw it, and I was like, ugh. Anyway.
So they established quickly that he is the Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus.
Yes.
But he's like, curmudgeon is not even like. He is like
he's burnt out. He's had a job that he doesn't find satisfying for whatever reason for years. Yeah. He's like that guy at the office that like doesn't really do his job that well, but still acts like he should be supported in whatever manner he sees fit.
He talks about kids so bad. He's like, shit's the goddamn. I'm like, whoa, he don't even like kids. It don't even sound like right. So then we get introduced to the family. And we obviously had some problems between the husband and wife. He well,
I couldn't find out. I couldn't tell if they were like actually divorced or if they were separated. I couldn't tell.
They were just separated, I think. And the little girl is like instantly cute, and then she brings in the Home Alone stuff immediately. And
yes,
I was too stupid to even like latch onto it. I was just like, they just trying to ground it in,
doing some like real work in the background, so everything makes sense.
Yeah, but then it's foreshadowing actually pretty good. And,
really good. The best kind of foreshadowing, well, not necessarily the best, is when you don't necessarily realize it was foreshadowing.
Right, because then when the shit comes out, you're like, oh goddamn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, so they go to this estate. And, it's funny, the door guy is like super nice and everybody likes him immediately.
This is the worst part of the movie for me.
What is that exactly?
What happens to this poor man? Because and maybe that's maybe one of the things that the movie is making, because he's saying, well, here I am working on Christmas Eve,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's kind of sucks.
Yeah, but
Which is nice that he has that kind of relationship that he can say that to
but
them.
he really
But
loves the little girl instantly,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you can
he
see
knows
that
her.
everybody likes him,
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's the kind of good character building you got right there because he was on the screen for 3 seconds. We already knew a lot about him. We
and you
already liked
cared when
him.
something
And
happened
you
to him.
really didn't want
Yeah,
some, and then something
right,
bad happened, you sons of
right,
bitches. You put me knew that was going to happen. Maybe
right.
that's more, but like, Jesus.
So we get to the house and they have all this security. So I'm thinking this must be like Elon, like so they're like oil tycoons.
Yeah, they have tons of, like, they have the kind of money that, like, unless you have that kind of money as well, you can't really even conceive of it. Even if you're a rich person,
I mean,
it's like rich people.
they're doing like a full security,
They
full
have like staff,
staff for a family Christmas get
like,
together.
yeah, on Christmas at like, and there's like 5 of them, but there's way more staff than there is people.
Way more. So they get there and instantly you got the sisters' families that's a complete piece of shit. And I thought that their piece of shitness at first was gonna bother me, but it didn't. I was like, they were interesting characters to me. What about you?
Yeah, they were like, I liked that they were, they never really changed,
No, no,
right?
not
They
at
were
all.
them, they were themselves, and I think that made it like better, more believable that they were just kind of just this really fucked up, weird people that like really craved their mother's money,
Cash.
probably, but also her attention.
Yeah, so you had the husband who was supposed to be a tiny action star. He was so full of himself talking about the kung fu and how he could take on so many people.
Oh my god, when he gives her the gift and it's like a spec script or something like that, it was so good because I was so embarrassed for them. But the wife is just like, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Or her boyfriend. I don't know if it's her boyfriend or
husband.
Her husband. But...
It was husband. Then you had the little kid who wanted to be an influencer, talking about the brain he got on and shit. And so they were just pathetic. So then the other family, you had the black lady who didn't want to be there at all, and you had a little kid who was too young to realize how effed up everybody really was around her.
Yeah, she's just having. I thought that was good because like when you're that little, unless people are actually like yelling and stuff, you're just like, okay.
Innocence, right? She was definitely innocent, and that little actress actually sold that really well. Because sometimes
I thought so too. And I don't like child actors. I don't think that she was particularly a super strong child actress like you would see in like maybe a Millie Bobby Brown because but I will say I believed that she was a child. So that's like, you know what I mean? And that she had I thought she did a really great job. Even when she starts to do the Home Alone stuff later, she did it in such a childlike manner that I even think, and I hate to say this, not that she did it better but like Macaulay Culkin is a weird kid.
No. Let me explain. Go ahead. Because I know where you're going with this.
And I love Home Alone. But even like the way that he did it seemed more like the way an adult would do it, and the way that this child did it seemed more like the way it. Does that make sense?
No, even when you watch Home Alone, right? You watch Home Alone, and after something happens, I'm gonna give you more. He's like clearly acting. This little girl was. It seemed real. I
guess she just seemed like a child. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, this is the way a child would do this,
right? Instead of
because it was almost like it had a sense of like, whoopsie, like she would never really want to kill anybody, and I thought that was just kind of like
shit was dangerous. So let's get back on track.
Sorry.
So these guys like they're ambushed. They and like I like how the mom coming in with her old raspy cigarette voice and cussing people out, calling people cunts and shit all over. She just going at.
So that's Beverly D'Angelo.
Yeah, she's terrible. What? It was a senator on the phone. She called him.
She's like, yes, basically like, eat my ass. Have a happy Christmas, Senator. She just doesn't give a fuck about anybody, like not even her own kids.
I agree. I was like,
which I liked.
So
because it all fits in with this theme of this movie.
Yeah. So the sister's in like competition for the brother for the cash, and I wasn't sure if he was in competition either until the movie got going. So
they do kind of a very good job. There's a reveal in this movie.
Yes, and
that I find to be very good.
Yeah, it was good. So then the bad guys come in. They take over just like a Die Hard movie. It was very much like
right,
Die Hard,
right. There's no way that this movie isn't an homage to these kind of Christmas movies, including Die Hard. There's a lot of Die Hard in this.
Yeah. So all the while when this takeover happens, Santa happens to be fooling around in the the massage chair, drinking like 100.
I love that he's just like having a nice little, yeah, he's like, don't mind if I do. I love that. That's what I would do as Santa. I would just be poking around in your, cabinets and drinking your liquor. But like, there's a walkie-talkie involved here. So they've given her a walkie-talkie so she can talk to Santa, but then she actually ends up talking to Santa.
Yeah. Him pouring out that milk and putting that expensive bourbon into that damn glass just made me mad. If I was like,
when I saw that there was still a little milky,
yes,
I did not like that. However, I know that there's some bourbon drinks that doesn't the White Russian have bourbon in it?
I don't never had a White Russian before, so yeah,
it probably isn't. Maybe it's whiskey.
Yeah,
I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Please get at me if you are upset. Yeah. So
I remember a black
right away.
But
right away, he's quickly embroiled in like whatever's happening in the building. So like the family's been taken hostage. John Leguizamo has this like a decoy. Everyone in the house. There's a lot of people who are, maybe they all are, but I thought there were some employees I saw that I didn't see on the team, like the butler boys.
A lot of guys, yeah, they were all like cannon fodder. They weren't a part.
Yeah, they all got shot. Oh, they all got shot. All the people who weren't a part of their party, the bad party, the robbers, they all got killed. That's right.
Right, and so I'll tell you what was surprising to me about this movie. When part of the trailer, you see Santa whooping ass.
Yes.
And I like how he was just a bumbling like coward because he was trying to get the hell out of there the whole time, and he was just falling all over himself. He couldn't fight. You know what I'm saying? The first few fights he had, it was just luck that he was like getting out of the fight.
I thought he was kicking ass when he smashed that guy's hands with the balls. Yeah.
But not from the beginning. I mean, he was like.
You mean that first fight where he doesn't really want to fight that guy?
He fought the first guy, the Latino cat, and that guy was. He was beating that ass. He was choking him with the Christmas lights and stuff. And then he just happened to fall out that window and boom, 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 he got impaled. And then the other guy came in, with the knives and he was slicing them and stuff. And he was basically running from this dude the whole time. It was his luck. And then he got the balls and he beat a little ass for a little bit. But then when the balls were gone, he was like, oh shit, it was
well, yeah, he doesn't want to fight the people.
Right. I thought it was interesting though. Like he only knew the good people, some of the good people. Cause it's like, he didn't know these cats. Like, I thought he was going to be like doing like a lot of name dropping. Like, come on, Bobby, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah. I didn't like that. Or I wouldn't have liked that. But he does know because he sees on the list like some people are naughty. The list shows the people who are naughty.
The list did. But like when he went down and they killed.
But I think when the list shows, I think he knows.
That's what I'm saying. But when he went down to like to see and the black dude was killed, he didn't look at the list. Mm-hmm. He knew who that guy was. He was like, oh, no, James. And I was like, I like shit like that. But it's like something that they know, So he's like running through this whole thing. Mama don't care. They got everybody held hostage. And she's sitting there like, y'all so dead. I mean, she was so confident in her that I don't give a damn what happened. So Tip, they're there to take $300 million or some money that was unaccounted for, that the mom stole some kind of way. And so to me, for an oil tycoon, I was like, is that enough money to really have?
Yeah, okay. I have so many thoughts about the $300 million.
Go ahead, let's talk about
it. One.
Yeah.
So these people are like war profiteers, basically, right?
War profiteers, yeah. It was like, yeah.
Fucking terrible people that never have a comeuppance in this film, by the way. Right. Spoilers. It seems like not that much money, but also a lot of money, but maybe not a lot of money to them. Like $300 million probably wouldn't even cover the cost of the house that they're in.
No, that's what I'm saying, Tiff. I was surprised that they held on to $300 million.
Right.
When you have you got $70 billion in the bank. Why
$300 million, that vault that they destroyed, getting into $300 million probably cost $300 million.
I agree.
So like, and so beyond that, so like that being just basically chump change to them.
Yeah.
Basically. On top of that, towards the end of this movie, we find out that they're like, because more people come in who are part of the team.
That's a lot of cuts.
Track the film. Yes, that's what I said. At some point, like, and they are seeing people get violently killed. I think that like I tried to calculate how many people were in the movie at one point, like how many people were on the team, and I got to about like 15 to 25. I couldn't decide.
300 million, yeah.
Right, divided by 300 million.
Yeah,
and you're not all going to get the same amount.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? As like at some point is $2 million worth maybe it's worth the chance of dying for, but is it worth the chance of getting your hand smashed by a bowling ball, your leg snapped, and then dying slowly on the floor?
Tiff,
No.
I had the same thoughts. I was like, so
I
if they
was like,
divided
some of these
evenly,
people would leave.
I was like, so you doing all this for $12 million? You know? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, like, which sure, maybe I would try, but there's a point, right? When it becomes apparent that you are not going to get the $12 million because you will soon be dead.
So Santa comes into his ass whoopery.
Yeah.
In that shack, you know, and he.
Oh, okay. So this is obviously when he turns into. Okay, he was already kind of sexy because he's David Harbour, but this is where he turns into super sexy Santa because he puts, he got to, and they know it too. So don't act like I'm the only one.
Oh shit!
Because they put his hair in the man bun.
Yeah.
Make him look more like his Viking self. He's got his little jacket on. You guys, fuck you, fuck all of you. He was very sexy. He's a sexy man. Anyway, yeah. So he's like he was a Viking in a past life,
right? And he's had a lot of past lives. And
speaking of which, I want to tell you remind me to tell you about this scene and what I think about the end.
What I really like that they never really explained his how he got Christmas magic. I like how he does.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know how he got Christmas magic, but I'm fine with it. It works in this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just really happy that they never explained that. I don't need to know because it's just stupid. And the more you try to explain it, it'll just get even more ridiculous. So that was fine. So my favorite scene in this whole movie, Tiff, is the Home Alone shit. I'm sorry.
I thought that those were such clever traps that would when he falls on the nail, which I think, which obviously because she intended for it to be for the foot and it was, he's like, ha ha ha. Oh fuck! That was maybe the worst death in the whole movie, even though it wasn't the most violent one. Do you know what I mean? He got it.
Man, they were both like stupid ass little kid, and it was like they both got it so bad.
It was so bad, and maybe that was the point, was to have their two deaths kind of be like, even though we saw a lot of bad ones, some of the worst ones we saw just terrible.
How about a bowling ball to the crotch for the lady? I'm like, God.
Yes, it's a fuck. And when that nail comes down or whatever, and the bowling ball hits it or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know what came down and hit him? The bowling ball hit him, but it knocked something into his head.
A nail. He got hit in the head with a nail, and then the bowling ball nailed it deep because it was just sitting there, and then it was like in his head. And he landed on the spikes for the second time. That little girl built a house of horrors, and then they kind of had. They had like a Home Alone theme music playing kind of in the background. I was like, this is so interesting.
Because I thought so too. I could have watched more of them. I would have been like, if a couple people die this way, it's fine. Well, they find out that the money's not there.
Right. So old boy came and took the money. That was his surprise to his mom, that he was stealing the money and leaving with the family. And I knew that mama was not gonna mind when that shit happened. I was like, she like cutthroat shit. She probably so proud. And in the movie, she was like, I'm so proud of you. That's cutthroat. That's how we are. I'm like, oh, she a barracuda, boy. That mama was a barracuda. So the kill squad arrives, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to. They think it's they think that they're there to they're security. They thought it was security detail for them, but it turns out to be the backup, the extraction team.
Let me ask you a question. Why is Leguizamo character having a fit every time he talk about the kill squad is only a half an hour out? What is it, just because he's supposed to have it wrapped up before they get there? I don't know. He's like, the kill squad is almost here. Do their jobs, and I'm like, why is he so upset? Especially when the reveal happened, I was like, "Oh, they're part." So why was he so mad that the kill squad was coming? I did not understand that the whole time.
I don't know. I didn't maybe really notice that. Maybe because they needed to get the money out in time.
So they killed the cowardly husband. He
the action star. He's the only one of all these people. Besides, I would say the mom and the daughter are the most innocent.
The mom and the daughter. No,
the mom and the daughter. They're the only innocent people.
Completely. Yeah. But the other family didn't know about all that money. They didn't know about the Nazi money. The daughter and her family, they didn't know about that stuff.
No, right. But the mom did.
Oh yeah.
And the son did, and they were both at the end. So we're coming kind of to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
David Harbour gets his hammer back because he had a hammer as a Viking, and then he finds a sledgehammer.
How many people killed in that garage? Because I thought only 8 and 8 went in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're counting these people. Everyone's getting $1 million for this horrible crime that they're committing, in which they all die. But he breaking legs and skulls and shit, being really cool. And then we have this kind of So then the family joins in. They join in behind Santa and they help get rid of some of the people.
Yeah. Mama got the gun.
Yeah.
Daddy can't fight worth a damn. Everybody just beating his ass down there underneath the manger and stuff like that. And then they do this chase on snowmobiles where we had his boss battle. So you got tiny little John Leguizamo fighting big ass David Harbour.
So like sure.
Yeah. So I knew the nose thing would work, but that holy.
Yeah, we all just saw like fucking. You're like, it was over the top, but also like in a way that like wasn't so bad that you're like, I can barely. But it was pretty nasty.
It was bad. I was like, God damn.
Let me tell you what I thought was going to happen.
What's that?
So David Harbour has said in the movie, yes, Santa Claus said, "Oh, I don't remember how I got the powers. I used to be a bad man."
Yeah.
So I thought he was gonna die because he was like, "Not yet." Because he was like, "No, I got one more thing," and he touches his nose. I thought he was gonna transfer the Santa power, or somehow the Santa power was gonna go into John Leguizamo.
I thought that too.
And he was gonna be the new Santa.
I thought so too.
Yeah, but then nope, he just sucks him up the chimney, he explodes, and then I did enjoy the fact that he thought he was gonna die.
Yeah. And then they had to do
I
believe moment. They had to do the elf.
Which
I believe
I think worked for this movie because he's kind of like curmudgeonly. And like guys, the ending's not the greatest. The movie's a little long, but it's pretty fun.
It was a fun ride, and I just kept having to refocus, because some things I was just like, this is ridiculous. But I was like, look, you don't come to see something like this. It's not already ridiculous,
right? You know that you're here for not an Oscar movie.
So I did enjoy it. I did. Yeah. I was like, it was a fun ride. And even the most bloodiest scenes was done in that barn with low light, so you didn't really see that much blood. And so I was like,
it was like NC-17, but it was cool. Yeah. It was still like action and like kind of like, kick-ass hyper-violence stuff, which I like.
100%. So yeah, man, it's thumbs up for me, man. I enjoyed it and stuff, and I wouldn't mind seeing this again, man. I was driving home like, man, it was violent, but it was charming.
Charming, yeah.
So there we go. So that's it, man. We came to do the damn thing. We got it done. It's Christmas time, man. I don't know what the hell we're doing next week because we got a lot of choices, but we'll put that together. With me is my Dynamite co-host, Ms. Tiff Abad. Say goodbye to these lovely people, Tiff.
It's been a pleasure as always.
All right. And so until next week, man, we will be
on patrol.
Patrol time.